Conformity Antidote. Melting one snowflake at a time. Get ready to be triggered. Here they come, the leaders of the new church, Reverend Cuz and Deacon Tex.
And welcome back to Conformity Antidote. Hello, viewers.
Hello, viewers. Welcome back.
Ahoy.
Ahoy, mateys. Hello, sailors.
Okay, you see that a little... see that a little...
I know.
Little sugar bridges.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah. Anyway, well, thanks for joining us. And we're trying out a new streaming app here, so...
You know what that means.
Means something's going to go wrong. So if you see me looking at my phone every once in a while, it's because I'm just double-checking to make sure that, things are running like they're supposed to be running. So actually, you know what? Let me set that up here so I can just keep an eye on it and make sure everything is good. All right? There we go. Oh, there we go. Hello.
Oh, what was that? We're watching ourselves.
How do you turn it off?
You see me looking at my phone every once in a while. Wow. We're like in a delay. That's weird.
Okay, here we go. There we go. Off we go then.
Off we go then.
So just want to make sure that this thing's streaming correctly. All right.
Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Okay, I know what you were going to say.
Some of the we had all you can eat seafood, and I think the iodine is like coming up into my brain and it's blocking everything.
It made me. I was out cold. I was out cold.
Yes, you were.
I was like
for a while.
I know. That iodine really knocked me out. That zapped me, knocked me out. So I know. I'm wide awake now. I'm much better now.
Well, let's take a little drink and let's kick us off.
Here we go. That's nice. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, that's lovely, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We're not telling you what's in there. No, we're not doing the tasting just yet.
Not just yet. But my wife went to IKEA and got us some new shot glasses for when we do our taste test.
Yes.
I'm not sure which one we're going to do first. Whether or not we're going to do, well, Tex wants to do beer.
Yes.
But,
Tex likes beer.
That means we'll have to go to the one store where you can build your own six-pack.
Right. Yeah, we'll have to get, so you get single beers and stuff.
Yeah. We'll have to get some crazy crap.
Yeah.
Like stuff we don't even know. Yeah, They got some weird stuff in there, like
they got those
monkey butt passion fruit IPA and some
all I want is some of that IPA that's like 9% alcohol by volume, like in a beer. That's crazy. Usually your beers are like 4 to 5% or whatever. 9 and 10. That's like
9.
Crazy. That's crazy high.
That is crazy high.
That's crazy high. So
that'll
be coming.
That's crazy high. That's floating above your house, seeing your mama's house high.
Yes. Woo! Hello, mama.
Mama. All right. So
anywho, we do have an announcement, but we'll hold it till the end of the show, like we normally do. We'll hold it till the end of the show. So stay tuned for the end of the show.
Hold it.
Yes. Throw him to the floor.
So let's move on to some news.
Look, no hands. Shuggy.
Come on, stay.
Oh, open up, China Garden soon. I miss me Kung Pao chicken,
hot sauce soup,
and wonton. There.
Yes. Hopefully they do open up
I know.
China Garden here pretty soon.
At least at the end of the year, hopefully. I miss. It's funny. It's there. It's been there all the time. But when it's gone, you're like, man, you really miss it. You're like, because you take it for granted because you think you could go there anytime.
It's been there since Burger Chef left.
Yes, Burger Chef.
If that tell you how old that is. Anyway. All right.
So
let's get into
the news.
The news, which we're going to start off with the Mueller hearings.
That big, you know what? Just real quick about this. These people are so they open up bars and restaurants in downtown DC, and I'm sure probably in other major cities or whatever. They had viewing parties of the Mueller hearing. Are you serious?
It doesn't surprise me with these jackasses anymore.
Oh my. Oh, it's going to be a gas, man. Come on. They're going to have so much fun watching Robert Mueller in Congress talking. I'm going to get so drunk on Don Perignon in a little bit of a martini. Go screw yourself.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing about it is like we've said before, is the Democrats, thinking that he's the Messiah, okay? And that he's going to have everything they need to just get rid of Trump.
Right. He was supposed to come out and sit there and say, you know what? I have all the evidence you need right here. Go ahead and start the impeachment proceedings. But no, he's like, I ain't got nothing.
I got nothing. And the funny thing, and again, the funny thing is he already did the report, and there was nothing in the report. But they said, there's all this redacted stuff, blah blah blah. So we want to talk to him personally. So there's like, okay, fine. But then Mueller sends a letter to Barr and says, hey, I only want to talk about the stuff that's part of the report.
Right.
He said, I don't want to talk about anything else. And so Barr, said, okay, one of the things is that he's not going to talk about this. And they're like, oh, they're hiding stuff. No. Mueller's the one that submitted the letter to the DOJ that says, I don't want to report on this. I don't want to talk about anything else but what's in this report.
And not only that, but they may, for those of you not in in government circles, what happens when the reason why they redacted a lot of that stuff is because there was a lot of names of individuals and stuff like that. The public doesn't need to know that information, and that is one of the things.
Certain information they can't know because of
national security or other stuff like that.
Yeah, or the jury, what do you call it?
Grand jury.
Grand jury. That's only for the grand jury.
So that's the reason why it was redacted. It's not like it's like hiding something or anything like that for this report. It's like there's certain things they just can't release to the public.
Yeah,
there's certain things we don't need to know.
We don't know.
We don't.
And you don't need to know.
Yeah.
But it was funny because it was funny just because he was going to be the Messiah and this, that, and the other. And he's already told him, look, there's nothing there. So what's funny about it is Comey did a 10-month investigation on this stuff, came out with nothing. Mueller did another 22-month investigation, nothing. Right? And now they want to talk about now Congress is Nadler and his pieces of crap. They want to talk about subpoena. You're
right. Spit it out.
Subpoena the
Records, phone.
The emails, the private emails of Ivanka, Kushner, and this and that. It's like, dude, what the frick? Anyway. So we do have, I do think we have a video clip of Mueller in front of the House Judiciary Committee.
Yes, we do.
And let's see. Let's go ahead and roll that clip. Oh, wait a minute. Oh,
no,
what happened? There we go. Whoa. Okay, here we go.
Oh, I took off work for this. This is great. I love it. It's a watch party.
Oh, look at all the. Okay. Well, that was a summary of Mueller in front of the House Judiciary Committee. Oh, and so we also have
the video
clip of him in front of the House Permanent Select Committee. So let's go ahead and roll that footage as well. That's riveting. Is what that.
I tell you what. That's like better than watching the Avengers Endgame.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
Okay, so if anybody didn't watch it, which I did, this dumbass here didn't even know the report. He didn't even know what was in the report. They said, okay, in section blah blah blah. Okay, he had a big binder there. All he had to do was go to section 192, whatever it was. And they said, based on this, and he's like, that's beyond my purview. That's not my purview. That's over my purview. So they did this. I was watching Greg Gutfeld last night, and he did a little compilation of when Doofus here said it's beyond my purview, and it was like, I don't know how many times. It's like blam, blam, blam. Not my purview. It's above my purview. Not within my purview. And it's like, what is it? What is in your purview, you dumbass?
Well, I honestly think though that he was being forced to do something that he didn't want to do. All right, he did the report, right? He got it out or whatever, but his party demanded that he appear in person. He did not. Let's put it this way.
Yeah, he didn't ask for that.
No, and he did not want to go.
No, he did not
want to do it because he knew what was going to happen. He knew what was going to happen. There was nothing that he was going to be able to give them that they wanted, and he's not going to perjure himself.
Nope.
So he's just like, it's in whatever. Yeah. It's in the
now,
report or whatever.
I will admit, I did feel sorry for him a little bit because, like Tex said, he didn't ask for this. He did not want to go in front of Congress.
His party, the Democratic Party, actually demanded.
They subpoenaed him.
Yeah, they
Nadler.
said he go.
Oh, Oompa Loompa.
Yeah, Nadler.
And he's like, look, and so he knew that there was going to be a big pile of shit. So that's like we said. That's when he sent the letter to Attorney General Barr and said, look, I want only to talk about what's on here. So that's when Barr submitted that, and they're like, oh, you don't cover it up. He's like, no, this came from a letter from Mueller. But
interesting. Now the only thing that they have that they could possibly hang their hat on, and that's possibly hang their hat on, is that Trump wasn't completely cleared of possible obstruction. However, they said that you cannot go after a sitting president on something like what the little bit that they had, that it wasn't anything like monumental for them to be able to take down a sitting president, that they'd have to wait until he became a private citizen again and to try to give it a go. So
that's going to be in another 5 years.
So we'll see what they do and how much more money are they going to waste.
They better quit wasting. That was $30 million for Mueller's report. $30 million.
They don't care
for something that was already proven that was nothing there. Oh, and by the way, they would talk about now they're kind of throwing, well, they have been before, but they're throwing around the whole freaking Russian interference in an election. Yeah. Back in 2015, they knew about that shit. Obama did. Him and his people knew about it and didn't approach it or didn't do anything with it, initiate anything. Imagine that. Yeah.
Anyhow, so it'll and we know it's going to happen again. They've already said that the Russians are going to be doing it again. Come next year. So stay tuned. It's going to be a fun one. 2020 is going to be a fun time.
It's going to be a crap show.
It's going to be a circus.
Especially during the debates. I can't wait for. Isn't there another debate coming up here pretty soon?
I think next week.
Is it next week?
Yeah. Either this week or next week is another Democratic debate. Because it was funny. I was reading an article where they said that Obama's physician said he thought Joe Biden looked very frail in his last. His last debate against Kamala Harris, they look very frail.
Frail?
What's that mean?
What does that mean?
I don't know. I guess is he trying to sit there and say that he shouldn't get the nominee? Who else are you going to give it to? I'm like, well, look at that cast of characters you have up there on stage. Who the hell else you want to get that nominee?
Yeah, they showed it. And it's like 15 for each night. It's like you. Anyway.
It won't count. It won't matter anyway until after Iowa. They have to do. You'll have to wait till after the Iowa caucus before they nip to see who's in the top 5 or whatever, and then everybody else is just going to start dropping out.
But it's going to be funny to watch because it's going to be a big crap show.
Yes, it already is. Or a big soup sandwich.
Soup sandwich. Okay, so we're going to go to this one first, and then we'll go to
the other one last.
The other one last. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Oh, there they are. Hello, girls.
No, that's not that.
Oh.
It's no, it's this one. All right, so we have. Oh, it's the squad. They gotta call them the squad.
Is that like the mod squad?
It's more like the goon squad.
Goonies. Oh, the squad. Oh, what's that?
So anyway, these jackasses. We're not really talking about them so much in themselves as we're talking about that the House overwhelmingly okayed the resolution opposing the Israel boycott in a rare bipartisan vote. The resolution passed 398 to 17. So basically what it was is they jackass over here, this one right here, this piece of shit. She brought forth some a bill. I don't know if it's a bill. What do you call it?
It's a bill.
Is it a bill?
Yeah, it's got to be a bill.
It's got to be a bill.
She's in Congress.
That she wanted to boycott Israel and wanted on the books as a bill to say we're going to boycott Israel. Okay, number one, the simple fact that was even that you would even going to get that to pass. Number two, you're going to boycott Israel. So they've already caught her in like 50 million different things about her being anti-Semitic. Now you're going to say we're going to be anti-Israel and boycott Israel. Now I know Skank over here, she wants that because she's from freaking Palestine, and she's been nothing but pain in the ass since she got in there. She's talking a bunch of shit. But anyway, these four absolutely did vote for the boycott. All right, they're 4 out of the 17. So, but it's just like it's just like what we talked about with the Mueller report. Can you freaking people go and do your damn job?
Right.
Okay. Go look at what's going on in the world. Not going after Trump or trying to boycott Israel. We got way more bullshit going on than that.
And there again, of all you see, this goes to show you, especially this one, her priority is. They declared in her home country, her home continent, not country, because she's from Somalia, but her home continent of Africa, that Ebola, the World Health Organization has basically declared a serious state of emergency in like the Congo or whatever for the Ebola outbreak over there. What kills me is you don't hear anything from these people about let's do something to help. They always talk about going, about Africa this, Africa that, but they never talk about wanting to do anything to help those people over there.
Nope.
I've had it. And then, then to do this whole thing with Israel, really?
Yeah,
and then she's sitting there, she's like, well, I'm not an anti-Semite. And I'm like, really? And they've even had her on, some of the, a lot of conversations or whatever. And then this one over here, actually it was her, said that the real terrorists are white males.
Yep.
She made it, they have her, they have this thing on there saying that
the real terrorists are white men.
That white males should be classified, should be racially profiled. The white males should be racially profiled and be called terrorists. And they actually had her on tape doing. She was with Al Jazeera.
Al Jazeera. Yep.
It was a comment she had with Al Jazeera saying that. Okay.
You're a dumb skank, all right? And there is and just the same thing as AOC. Whoop, this way. Her dumbass. Omar has a Republican woman that is going against her in the next election. So we'll see how that works.
Well, yeah, I heard that she's already come up with some issues.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they all do. It's like,
I know they all do, but still, we can only hope. But there's a part of me that I think some of this that they're doing on purpose, because you cannot be that nuts. It's like they thrive on the attention. It's like they thrive on this all this attention that they're getting.
I
And I'm not sure I get it. I really don't.
I don't either. But that's what we've got, or not but that's what
there's people.
That's what the wonderful state of Minnesota has put in there,
and New York.
Both of these, the two bookends.
They're Minnesota.
They're Minnesota. Then we got New York. I can't remember where Skankboat's from.
Anyway,
I don't really.
God, don't say that, racist.
Skankboat.
Racist.
Skankboat.
Racist.
Right. She's Skankboat. All right, next we don't have a picture for her, but we wanted to discuss just quickly.
Yes, we just added this in at the last minute. So
is the battle between President Trump and Elijah Cummings.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so Trump put out, because Elijah Cummings was talking a whole lot of crap about Trump. And Trump's like, you know what, you need to deal with your own stuff because
he's been
West Baltimore is a crap hole.
Yeah, Elijah Cummings has been a thorn in Trump's side ever since he came into office.
But he's a piece of crap.
Because he's manning a bunch of committees, I guess they're doing an investigation on.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
If you ever watched him in action, he's a complete idiot. But anyway, so then Trump said, okay, well then you need to worry about like your West Baltimore, which is what your district, and he said because it's a crap hole.
Yeah, he says it's worse there than it is on the border.
So, and then I was like, oh, how dare you, and this, that, and the other. Well, you know what?
You're a racist.
Take it from two people that live in Maryland.
And
it's the truth.
And one person that spent 6 months in Baltimore, in downtown Baltimore, and in parts of Western Baltimore. Yes. And, this is the thing. Yeah, exactly. P.U.
You got that. You got serious. There's a thing on Twitter where somebody was at night, and there was these rats just running along the street there.
Oh, they were showing that in D.C. too. That's funny. They had this restaurant in Georgetown in D.C. where they had somebody was like through the window of the restaurant. And you see these rats were having a fit. They were like doing the cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. This nice restaurant in Georgetown in D.C. I know.
Shoot them damn rats. But Elijah Cummings, your district is a shit. Same thing as Nancy Pelosi over there in San Francisco, and what's his name over in L.A. It's a shithole.
Well, this is the thing. You can't, if you say anything against anything negative against anybody that is of color, you're automatically deemed a racist. There was nothing now. No matter what everybody thinks about the go back to where you came from or whatever, that's different. We're not going to talk about that. But
I'll talk about it. Go ahead. Go back where you came from.
No, but
that's everybody,
including me.
If you don't like it here,
just go back home.
Hit the bricks.
But there was nothing in Trump's tweet about Baltimore that was anything racist. He just sang it's
and
a
that
crime.
Wasn't true.
It's a crime. It wasn't exactly. It's a crime-infested neighborhood. Okay, yes, a majority of West Baltimore, the majority of people that are there are black, but it is also an area where there is extremely high crime. So there was nothing that was, but because he said it, racist. It's it's Nancy Pelosi gets up. That was a racist comment. I'm like, what? Okay, so you can't say anything. That's what we're getting to. You say anything out, you speak. The only person that Donald Trump can make a criticism towards is another white male, because if he does it with the female, it's sexist, and if he does it with somebody of color, whether they be black, Hispanic, Asian, what have you, that he's racist.
Yeah,
really. And these cities, we discussed it ad nauseum on our show. But all of the major cities have always been run, with the exception of New York City, have always been run by predominantly people in the Democratic Party. At least
in the last 50, 60 years.
When Obama was in office for 8 years, do you think West Baltimore improved? Absolutely not. Do you think Elijah Cummings was concerned about the crime rate and poverty in West Baltimore? I don't know. Who knows? It doesn't appear so.
It doesn't appear so because it didn't change.
And the crime rate is still quite high in Baltimore. So I don't. And then somebody in the Baltimore, so I guess Baltimore paper or whatever, was like, well, the president should be trying to help the problem, help be a part of the solution. The problem. What do you want him to do? What you do? You want him to send in the National Guard? It's a drug problem. It's a gang problem. And it's not just like that in Baltimore. It's like in all the big cities. What do you want him to do?
Well, it's like when Obama was in there. Right? Baltimore, still a crap hole. Did Obama do anything but that? Chicago.
His hometown,
nothing. Detroit,
nothing.
Freaking, you name it.
Los
Angeles, Memphis. I could go Atlanta.
Right.
I mean,
New Orleans.
Obama didn't do crap.
So, but it's like, but see there again, what the president of the United States shouldn't have to do anything is regarding those cities. That is up to the mayor, who these mayors are making more than the president of the United States, by the way. Mm. That's up to them and their council to take care of. Mm-hmm. And, and don't get me started.
It's a county, district, and state problem.
Well, and don't get me started. Okay, and just a little side note, because we already know Baltimore's a sleaze pit. And this whole thing about what's going on with the cops, too. Now, we understand. All right, I get it. There are rogue cops out there, and they need to be called out. They need to be arrested. They need to be taken to task. However, but when you start attacking the police, they're sitting there throwing water on them, throwing buckets on them.
Oh, but that's really not. They're not really attacking them. It's just, the other. When you break down the respect that you have for law enforcement, and like I said, law enforcement. I said, you know what? Fine.
Well, and now,
bye.
Well, not only that, but it was brought up too. It's like, who's not to say right now it's a bucket of water? Who's not to say that somebody's going to get a bucket of God knows what, of raw sewage or whatever, and then go and dump it on them, and then where are we going to go from there? And then, of course, if the cop, everybody's got their cameras out, so if the cop reacts or whatever, then they're going to be like, look, brutality, police brutality.
These cops are racist.
Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what. It's getting to the point where, had this thing on where there is a super shortage of police officers in a lot of cities, and it's like the reason who wants to work there. No, you're not paying these guys enough to put up with that crap. Mm-mm. And who is going to want to work there? The ones you're trying to eradicate. The ones that are going to sit there and say, hey, "Put me in charge there. I'll sit there and take care of them. I'll get a little what for." Come here. Oh, there.
What are you doing?
Your thing came down.
Take it easy.
My fat finger. I know. I got excited.
See the finesse I got with that?
I know. You do.
All right.
You got a little finesse. He's got the touch.
But that's what it's going to be, And then it's like, okay, well, fine. We won't police your damn neighborhood,
right?
And then everybody's going to say, okay, there's good people in these neighborhoods, which I agree with.
Yes,
but you know what?
There's good people. Y'all need to
start. But here's the thing: y'all need to start calling out the people in the neighborhood that are effing these neighborhoods up. All right.
Yeah,
you can't expect, because especially, I've watched all these like the cop shows, but they're like the reality ones, where they're doing like 48 hours and stuff, where they're doing investigations, and nobody says shit. Nobody says a thing.
Right.
So it's like, okay, fine.
There is that fear factor, that intimidation.
I get
factor,
it. But you know what? At the end of the day, I don't. Okay, we've been playing that card for how long?
I know.
It's done. All right. Your neighborhood is not going to improve until you take a little bit of a stance and say, "Hey, what we're going to do with this crap?"
Right. And I'm telling you, plus a lot of these.
Don't give me that shit.
Plus
anymore.
a lot of police departments, you can do this stuff anonymously. You don't have to give them your name or nothing like that. So
it happens all the time. I see it on 48 Hours.
And we will say it here. We were just bashing Baltimore, and we know there are the time I spent, the 6 months I spent in Baltimore, I met a lot of good people in Baltimore. So yes, there are a lot of good people. Well, you weren't none, but there are a lot of good people there. There's a lot of good people like in DC and a lot of these other cities. But I'm telling you, it's the scumbags are running rampant.
Yep.
We got to put them in their butt. Nipping in the butt.
Put them in their butt.
Doing
what?
Well, they'll get that. They'll get
that
in
the butt.
Sexy.
Oh. Okay. All right. So I think we went on enough of a tangent.
Yes.
So we're done with the news. Thank goodness, because I got a lot more I can go off on.
I know. Well, there's a
And
lot.
I don't
want to.
I don't want to turn this into a whole just crazy.
Well, see, I'm telling you,
bitch session.
I'm telling you, we're not going to do. We're going to start. I think we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it offline. But I think come September, the new thing when we move to Saturdays and football's on, we're going to have like a 5-minute called Conformity Antidote, bitch. And we either Cuz or I are going to have pick a subject
or both
at random. Well, yeah, we'll one.
We can get 5 minutes apiece.
Yeah, and we'll set
a little.
We're just going to bitch.
And I'll set a little timer, and it's like it'll go off 5 minutes.
We're just gonna pick some random topic and to bitch about.
And
it could be something that happens. It could be something that happens that week. If it's like around here, it could be about the traffic.
Don't get me started
stuff.
Traffic.
Yeah, so I think we'll start that fresh in September when we move to Saturdays. So
yes,
that'll be a good time.
All right.
Anyway,
so let's kick off with
some serious stuff.
Okay. All right, here we go. So we have two young men here, two men from London.
Hello, London.
And this is Mr. Gattis Lagsdean and Dioncy, whatever, how you spell that?
Klebanov. Russian. Just say Russian.
Whatever. And so they were sentenced to pay fines of $200. That's roughly about 200 pounds. That's roughly about $250. And 400 pounds, about $500, respectively, for disrupting the public and causing significant distress.
And how did they do that, Reverend Cuz?
I was good to that.
Okay, I didn't know.
Would you think I was just going to go and then move on?
Yes. No, I know you weren't going to do it.
Look, it's stuck.
Oh,
okay.
We got stuck cricket. Somebody step on it.
Step on it. So yes, Tex. I'll tell you reason. So one, let's see if we can blow this up. If you
I don't
can
want to say it. I don't look. It's disgusting.
All right, see this right here? This right here is a dead squirrel, raw, and the other guy's got one dead.
I know.
See right
look
there?
at it.
He's taking a big bite out over there. So these two young men, they're at a. Let's see, what's the? I don't think it had exactly what it is. Oh, it was some vegan. So here it is. Veg Fest in Brighton, England is what it was, and so they showed up because all these vegans around. They showed up with two dead squirrels. You can see the fur still.
It's right.
They're raw. They're raw. They're like they
right
just
there,
killed them.
right there.
Look,
yeah,
and there's another. And you can see he's got a carcass on around his neck. See it? See right here?
Right.
Right there. And so they're over there taking bites.
Do you have any? Any sauce? You got any bloody sauce?
You got any Grey Poupon on this squirrel? So they're eating dead raw squirrels in this event, and of course the vegans are losing their. Yeah, these vegans are losing their freaking mind.
I just threw up my broccoli. There goes my cauliflower.
So the reason they charged them. And they found him guilty of disorderly behavior and said that their premeditated actions caused significant distress to members of the public, including young children. And as you can see in the photographs, he's wearing a veganism equals malnutrition T-shirt.
Yeah, now that I agree with.
It is malnutrition. You do need animal protein.
Yes.
They say they don't, but then there's some.
That's why they take supplements.
Yes, a lot of supplements.
Yes. That's why they tell people that are vegetarians they got to take certain vegetables or whatever. But yeah, these guys, and then this
chomp on a raw squirrel.
Then this dude on your side.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look at his face. He's got the blood there.
He's got the blood right here. He's got the blood right on there.
It's like what is this? The Walking Dead?
Look at him. Eating a raw squirrel. Now look, I've eaten squirrel before, and it's pretty tasty.
Not raw though.
Not raw. Mm.
That's like picking up roadkill. It's like, oh, I just clocked this possum. Let me go grab it.
And look, he's got one sitting. He's got one around his neck already.
I know.
A carcass, and you can see it's the tail, and then his head's gone.
What did they just come out of the woods or something like that? Are they mountain people? They don't have. I mean, they don't have mountains in England, but are they hill people or something?
Hill people, yeah.
It's the hill people.
They had to steal them from the cats. Cats are trying to kill
Are you
them.
from Stonehenge? Maybe they're the little people. Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
It's a magic place.
But anyway, so yeah, they're eating raw squirrel, and vegans are losing their freaking mind. Oh, I say, Reginald, they're over there eating some raw squirrels. I do not think that's appropriate for our veg fest.
No, I agree with you 100%, Marjorie.
Marjorie.
Oh, you know what? I would. It was a shame though. They ought to have like animal blood or something. Like, what is this, Carrie? They ought to have like animal blood and walk around and like drink it, because I heard that's another thing that's certain. They like people like drinking animal blood or something like that.
Ooh. Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't
Take
know
a bite
about,
of a squirrel.
I don't know about the whole squirrel
Dead
thing.
squirrel.
Though. If I saw that, even if I was at a restaurant and I had like a steak in front of me, I'd be like, ooh.
Squirrel. Well, I'm sure if it came in a restaurant, I'm sure it wouldn't. It doesn't look like squirrel when you get it.
Well, yeah, and obviously, I think these two were trying to prove a point to be gross.
Oh hell yeah! It's a shock factor. Absolutely, it was.
Yeah, because this guy looks like he's about to barf. He's like, I can't believe.
He does. He's like,
I can't believe I'm doing this.
He's like, we're gonna do what? What we're gonna do? What? Raw squirrel?
Really?
Well, that's gonna make me belly tumble.
You got that right.
I don't think I was. I thought we was going to do just like throw them around. We
I know,
eat them.
Look.
I thought we were going to rub like squirrel butts on like all the veggies.
On the vegetables. It's like you'd have to toss the whole vegetables out. Oh, that'd be like a tossed salad.
Ooh.
Oh.
Tossing salad.
Oh, tossed salad. Oh, this is like salad. Sorry, little ode to Revenge of the Nerds.
Yeah, it was.
A little ode to the Revenge of the Nerds with
like salad. That's what he's putting on. That's putting the icy hot on the jock
straps.
Anywho, so yeah, I could imagine it's like, oh my, so I say, who's got is what all the you're getting squirrel bits all over my eggplant.
You two must be conservatives, because this is not the right place for you. This is about peace and love and vegetable rights and or animal rights.
And you know what?
Stuff.
Vegetables are alive.
Yes, they are. See,
we should charge them for murder.
There is a name. There is a group of people that I can't remember what the name of them is, but the only fruit that they eat is what actually falls on the ground, because in their mind they cannot pick it from the tree because it's still alive. But they say that if it falls off the tree, it's dead. It's like the fruit committed suicide. It's like the apple. It's like the apple or whatever's hanging there.
I've had enough.
Oh look! I can eat this apple now. You're free.
I don't want to live as an apple anymore. I'm gonna go. Oh no! Oh no! Mom just did it. I can't live on. Oh!
I think they call it like fruitarians or something like that, or
fruit baskets. You got it right. But
all
right,
there are so many weirdos out there, including us.
And then if you get one of these, it strikes the tree, then you get like
a lot of them.
Apple turnovers.
It's like apple turnovers. Now see, that's just murder.
Oh, sorry.
See,
no, they got fried and they fell off.
Right. Well, that's murder though, because they were. But see, if they fall off on their own, they're committing suicide. They're jumping off.
Or is it? Or is it just because they've lived their life?
Yep, it's old age. It could be old age. They're dying of old age.
Then you're eating wrinkled.
Ooh. I know. Then they get all soft and mushy.
Yeah. All right, but it's so stupid. But the thing about it is, you want to talk about like plants and stuff. Talk about living things, but plants grow.
Yes.
Plants reproduce.
Yes. And they breathe out. They take in oxygen or they take in carbon dioxide and release oxygen.
Release oxygen.
Which to them, carbon dioxide is oxygen.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, there's something to be said about that too. So
Yes.
you eat all the vegetables, you're murdering them.
Yes, you're murdering the vegetables.
Murdering bastards.
Yes.
Okay, personally, I'm eating it all.
Yes.
Vegetables, meat, fish.
I look at it this way. That's why the good Lord put that stuff down here. It was not to look at, was not to sit there and stare at. It was to feed.
That is correct.
So,
all right. Now we're into, here we go.
This is probably the most serious story the second most serious story of the night.
Yes. As James